Good evening, Bella, and welcome back to the Bosses Lounge. How are you?
I am great, Shannon. Thank you so much for having me. I am very excited to be a returning guest, so I'm really looking forward to today's conversation.
Oh my gosh, you hit it right there. First off, as I was like putting out my list of who I needed to be on the show for season 4, your name was like the top name. I said I gotta have Bella.
Aw.
I already counted you in as a yes. As I was planning this out, I was like, I know Bella will say yes. So I'm so thankful for you joining me back. For those who has not listened to Bella's episode, it is linked in this bio. Bella is returning back to the Bosses Lounge, so she is very familiar. But I have a lot of new listeners, Bella. So for those who do not know who you are, even though they just heard your amazing introduction, I would love for them to hear it from you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So, my name is Bella Jones, and I am a financial strategy coach. So, I offer a variety of products and services to help my students, my clients, and my audience just take their overall finances, in control. Whether it's fixing your credit, creating a budget, investing and building wealth, I really want to help you build all of that down. It's really important to have a financial future that is stable, and by having the right mindset, the financial education, you can really. Oh, can we go back? I don't like what I'm saying right now. Can we go back? Can we pause? Let me talk
I
to
thought
my
you were
husband.
doing. I thought you
Yeah,
were
hold
doing.
on. Let me talk to my husband for a quick second because I heard him make some noise. Hold on a second.
You know what? I think it's just me. I think it could be more my side.
Mr. Jones, can you not open doors? Because the noise, the beeping for the alarm system. Oh. All right. Gotcha. Whew, sorry about that.
No, you were
All
good.
right.
Okay. All right. So we will. I will just jump back in from. You could just start introducing yourself again, if
Yes.
you would like.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Go ahead. Hi, thank you so much, Shannon. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar, my name is Bella Jones, and I am a financial strategy coach. I offer a variety of products and services to help my students, my clients, and my audience just get their credit in order, get their budget back on track, and start investing and building wealth to build a more secure financial future. So, I'm also a podcaster myself, a YouTuber, wife, mom. I do work a 9 to 5. So I wear many, many, many hats, but I'm very passionate about financial literacy and financial education, especially in our community. Many of us just are not taught these things growing up. So I use all of my platforms to really bring that message to as many people as I possibly can.
And that's exactly why I needed you back inside the boss's lounge, because you are the true definition of a boss. And the most important
Aw,
thing is like you are showing us, not only as entrepreneurs, but just as people, how to manage and
yes.
be better at money. I love your podcast. For
Aw,
one, how to stop being broke. Like that needs to be on a t-shirt.
agreed.
It's $1 million question: how to stop being broke. And not even just so like in a sense when it comes down to dollars, but down to mindset, because you can have a broke mindset. And so I am so in tune with everything that you teach us, because I follow your word.
Yes.
You have personally changed our financial life this year.
Aw.
Started your 30-day savings challenge. And so, for those who are on, if you don't know, Bella did a 30-day savings challenge. Do you remember the month you started?
I do them throughout the year, so I'm not.
It's
It might have been May of
yeah,
this
yeah,
year or
yeah,
June,
May.
somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
May. You started a 30-day challenge in May. And you challenged everybody. You showed us how to save $500 within the month. And
Yes.
so I took that challenge and I went back to my husband and I was like, look, we not spending X amount of money. We both need to be saving $50 a day.
Right.
So he was like, okay. But I just went into the account and I started,
Right.
and then the thing was, all you're doing is just shifting money from one account to the other account. So you're not
Right.
losing it.
Right.
And so from that, our savings is skyrocketed. And when we take our trip next year, I'm gonna be thanking Bella because it is because of your savings plan that got us back on track with our savings, because that money was just sitting there. And when your money sits inside your checking account, it's going to be spent, like hands down.
Right.
Kudos, because I got 4 kids, so we wasn't, Christmas was a breeze just because we saved up. It wasn't like we had to tap into extra funds or
Right.
wait for the paycheck to come in.
Yes.
And I think that not only me, but I know you helped a lot of people this year just in that aspect, because you share tips on how to save money, grocery shopping, regular shopping. You share all the credit card tips.
Yep.
Um, I'm the one with the Apple Card, and I be telling my husband all the time, like, if you buy this off the Apple Card, if it gets damaged, or you can take it
Right.
right back.
Right.
I
Right.
That is why it's just really important when you're in business. You need to be connected with people who understand money. Because
Yes.
once you start making money, it is so easy to lose money. And here in 2021, um, although right now we are physically in 2020, what we don't want to do is carry those bad money habits over into 2021. And so that's why I invited you here tonight, just to share with us, which is the topic of tonight, is how to build a savings account for your business. And I want to talk about, I'm going to ask you all types of questions about, when it comes down to saving money for your
Yep.
business, why and how, and what we need to do as business owners to move out of the mentality. Because as I'm sitting here thinking about it, like, I saved a lot of money for myself and my household, but I don't necessarily think I saved a lot of money for my business this year. Um,
Right.
so I want to help, other people out. And I want everybody, by the time 2021 is over, to say they have both a personal and a business savings account.
Nice.
So if you ready, I'm ready to jump into some questions because I need to know. I'm gonna be taking notes.
Absolutely. I am definitely ready. Really excited about today's conversation.
All right. So, what is a business savings account?
So, with your business savings, you really, it's going to be a cushion to help you cover those unexpected expenses or investments you might need to make, right? Business is not only about buying inventory and packaging and things like that and like fancy softwares. It might also be investing in something that you need to level up your business, whether it's learning a new skill set, investing in a new software. And if you don't have the money set aside for that, you're going to miss out on that opportunity. Many of us out here, we are multitasking. We are full-time business owners, and we are also, working a 9 to 5. And when you're in that realm, you need to find ways to make things a bit more efficient for you and have a way to make things, just make your life easier. And if you don't have the money set aside to invest in these things, you're going to really have a hard time to scale your business. So your savings account is really going to be there to help you cover those investments that pop up, whether it's a masterclass, a software. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but right now in December, many of the softwares that I use were offering all kind of incentives to sign up for your annual plan. So things like Canva and ConvertKit, where we
Mhm.
pay for those monthly. I know I got email saying, hey, if you pay for your annual plan up front, you're going to save 35%. If you don't have any kind of savings set aside to take advantage of that offer, you're missing out on an opportunity to save additional money. So that can be 3 months of expenses that you don't have by having the funds up front to invest in an annual plan. So your savings really going to be there for those investments that come up your way, and also to protect you for things that kind of pop up, right? If you are someone that has certain kind of businesses where you have chargebacks and refunds, you got to have money to send in that refund to that customer. So your savings there as a cushion, but also to be there to jump on investment opportunities that do come your way.
You know what? You hit on two. Well, you hit on everything, but it's two things that stand out to me the most, which is saving up for investing in yourself, um, and chargebacks. So let's talk about actually saving up for investing in yourself. I know this year I was so excited because I got to work with a lot of people that I wanted to work with. And I did a few high ticket values. I did a
Yes.
high ticket coaching.
Yep.
And I took a high ticket, like training for myself. And then I enrolled myself into courses, certification courses. And it didn't even hit me until, I was like, wow, all that came out of my pocket, or it came out of my business. The money I made for my business, I turned around and put that back into, the things I was investing in. When
Right.
in reality, if I would have a savings account, I would have still had that profit, and the money would have just came from my savings,
Right.
from the business savings. So I think that as small business owners, that's the way we need to think when it actually comes, because you have to elevate. Me, I'm really, really, really big on education. And I do
Absolutely.
believe the more you invest in yourself, the more return you will see. And then I always tell people, like, why should other people invest in you if you're not willing to invest in yourself?
Yes.
If you're scared to, spend money on your business, people are going to be scared to spend money with your business because
Yep.
it will show. You can always tell the ones who invest in themselves, and you can tell the ones who are just like winging it as it goes.
Right.
They don't want to spend. I remember a time, and there's no judgment, because I remember a time where I'd be like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna spend $100 on a course.
Right.
Now I'm like, oh, it's just $100. Like,
Right. That part.
oh, it's just $97. Like, I do. So I mean, I get it. It is a level of, in my opinion, maybe like new fear, because you're not quite sure if you're going to see the return. Um,
Yeah. So I would call it a mindset shift is really what it comes down to. I know myself, I've been in that same boat where I've been brought opportunities where it's like, oh, this class is 497. And I'm like, 497? That could be a car note. That could be car note insurance. That could be
right.
half of somebody's rent. I'm like, that's a lot of money. And when
Mhm.
you don't understand that it's an investment to help you level up, you're not going to be open to spending that kind of money. I know I definitely was not doing that, let's say even 2 years ago. But
Me
once you
either.
understand that these courses and these master classes are really providing value to fast track you to a result that you need to level up either in your business or in your personal life. So, as someone who is a financial strategy coach, I definitely want to emphasize you have to do what you can with what you have. If you are not in a position where you can afford to invest in a high ticket offering, then you need to spend your time doing your Googles, going on YouTube, but you will spend a lot of time doing your research, right? That's why when you have these packages and these classes, they're basically fast tracking you to that end result that you're looking for. And then once you understand that the value in these courses is worth investing, that's when you'll see the result in your business. You will see the elevation. You'll see that you're going to level up, but you have to get that. You have to bridge that gap to get to that right mindset. And until you understand that, you will still continue to look for free things. You will still continue to maybe not even invest your time, and you'll just try and freelance it. But then when you're seeing your counterparts making more progress and you're wanting to know why, that's
Exactly.
why they're investing their time or
Hmm.
their money or both to
Both.
really invest and level up. I know for me, I spent a lot of money this year myself in coaching and courses, and I've made more progress in this year alone in my business than the full 2.5 years I've been doing this.
Right.
So for me, it's been worthwhile, but it takes a process to understand why you need to invest and then finding the money to invest. Not
Right.
everyone is in a position to do that, but that's why, as your coach, I'm telling you, hey, with these saving challenges, you want to save every single
Yeah.
day, make it a habit, make it something that you do first, paying yourself first, so then you do have the means to go ahead and invest in yourself and in your business.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. Um, and the thing is the higher the ticket, the more you will turn around and do the work. Um, when I did
That
my
part.
high ticket coaching that I did, I've literally have watched our session now like 4 times. And the session was in the beginning of December. Like I'm not playing. I all the time I
Right.
just be listening to our session because you appreciate it more. You appreciate the value of it
Yep.
more simply because you put your money into it and you take it, you tend to take it a little bit serious, different when you spend
Absolutely.
$25, $19, $11. You'd be like, oh, I'll get around to it. But you're absolutely right. You run around trying to find information, and that's exactly how she put it to me. Was like when you try to piece information together from this person, from this person, from this person, and this person, because and if you just sit down and focus, you know what I mean, and spend the
Right.
money, and if you do everything right, you should make that money back. Um,
Absolutely.
and that's what
Right.
people got to understand. That's the return on your investment is applying what you learned and turning it back around. And so
Exactly.
thing that you said, which is so crucial, is the whole entire chargeback thing. I remember when I first started my hair business,
Hmm.
like my first 3 sales were fraudulent sales, and ended
Wow.
up ended up chargebacks of like almost $1,600. And guess what? That came back out of my pocket. And
Yep.
you're right. If I would have had a business savings account, I would like, it would have been able to offset. I would have been able to, fight
Yep.
that, like fight it because it's so unfortunate. But more times the customer is going to win that claim
Absolutely.
than you are.
Yep.
And so if you are not prepared, oh, it set me back like big time. You know what I mean? It was
Absolutely.
big lesson learned, but it set me back, big time. And so that's what I want everybody to understand is that yes, when you get into business, you want to make money, but the first couple of years of money that you're making is not your money. It's
Exactly.
the money you need to sustain yourself for the long run. And that's why majority of businesses fail within their first 5 years
Yep.
because they don't have the money to sustain their business model to go on. Because, like you said, like if you just apply the savings challenge to your business model, and you're putting money into just $5, even if it's $5 a day, set
Yep.
that aside. That stuff starts to add up so that by the end of the year, you have money in the bank for your business.
Exactly.
Right, right. Now, speaking of banking, um, now the process of opening up a business bank account, is it the same for opening up a business savings account?
Well, yeah. So when it comes to a business account, it's definitely a different process than personal. So a lot of times now you can open a online account for yourself personally. With the business account, you most times have to do it in person. You're going to need to provide your W-9. You're going to have to provide your EIN, not W-9, your EIN number, your information personally, your business documentations. You're going to want to learn more about your business. It's a very in-depth process to open a business bank account, but it is really, really, really important to do that because you want to have your finances for your personal life and your business completely separate. I see too many people on Instagram cash at me to pay for this, right? And that's really, we want you to move away from the cash app primarily because you want to separate your finances and it makes you look more professional. When I hear someone saying, hey, cash at me, it really doesn't give me a professional feel. It doesn't give me warm and fuzzies inside, right? Versus someone saying, I can send you a PayPal invoice or
Mhm.
go to my website to check out to make this purchase. So you really want to have a business saving, the business checking, and the process is the same for both, but you have to have all of your documentation. Some banks will require more documents than others. I know for myself, for example, I tried to open a business bank account and they were like, well, we don't work with businesses who primarily deal in PayPal. And I was kind of mind blown by that because I'm like, PayPal is like the new wave right now. And all businesses, the Amazons, the Walmarts, they all offer PayPal. So
Right.
the unfortunate part with business banking is that many of these big box banks really are very antiquated in their mindset, in their thought process. So, but you want to have all your paperwork, definitely have all your ducks in a row when you are looking to open your business bank account.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I don't, for one, I just for the life of me cannot figure out why people are still saying cash at me, Zell me. Like it is 100% complete. Like, nope, I don't even want it no more. Because like I said, it's
Yeah.
things like you want me to invest in you, um, but you haven't really taken the time to get it, and it shows, you know what I mean, to get your business together.
Yep.
And it's not just, it's to protect you as a business owner and protect me as the buyer.
Absolutely.
Because like, like I said, I could be like, oh, I didn't get my gift, and it's not, it's not protected. Or you can say, they can say I didn't get the cash app, and you can say, but it's sitting on my side. Now you
Right.
have a dispute.
Right.
So like getting your business banking together is key and it's crucial. And it's I believe in finding the bank that works for you.
Yep.
Whether if it's go to the banks. Don't just go to one bank, in my opinion. Like look around
Yes.
and see, look at the different options that banks have to offer you as a small business owner. When you
Yep.
go in there and you sit down with someone at the bank and you tell them and you show them your business plan and you say, look, this is my projections for this year, next year. That's how you begin to open up yourself to a better banking relationship. You open up yourself to, getting money for your business. But if you
Right.
have nothing to show, even if you didn't have no sales, but you can say, look, I managed to save up $5,000 from my business.
Right. Now, when it comes to business banking, though, some banks won't even need all of that. Some of them just need the basic information. They just need to see your IRS, EIN. They just need to have your personal information. You have to sign, who is going to be authorized to sign on the account. And for a lot of times, that might be all that they need. Now, when you're trying to get a loan, that's when they're going to want to see your financial statements and business plans. But, if you can just show them your website, you have your paperwork as far as who you are, your driver's license, that kind of information. That might just be enough for many banks. So I think people feel intimidated by the idea of going into a bank and opening an account, but they want your business. They see small business now definitely the wave right now, especially with COVID. So don't feel intimidated going into a bank to open a business bank account. They want your business. Most times they're very open, they're very friendly, and they want your business. Even if you are making zero sales right now, you could be the next $1 million business in a couple of years. And if you're banking with them, that's great for them. So don't be afraid. And there are alternatives if you still aren't quite ready for that. You can start with PayPal. PayPal has a business debit card that you can use to create invoices, send to customers. You get a business debit card. And then once you are ready to transition, you can then add your business banking. But again, the PayPal gives you that professionalism. You can send a PayPal invoice for your client to pay, right? You can set up your website to accept PayPal payments, and that goes right into your PayPal account. There's just so many free ways to get started to have that professional business appearance. There's no reason for us to still be doing Cash App.
I like how you said that. My favorite F word, free. But you're right. There's a lot of free resources out there. But I always tell people the free resources, you still have to, they don't just sit there in your face. You know what I mean? Those are the ones you really have to look, especially for the good ones.
Yes.
I found a lot of good like free, certification courses, free trainings.
Yep.
And you take that, especially if you aren't you don't have a lot of money to invest into your business. I promise you there's a program out there that's willing to teach you what you want to know.
Yep.
But when it comes down, one of the things that I know you said that you do help people out with is just their money mindset. And so growing up, I did not understand my money mindset, my money mentality. I
Yep.
was young, right? I had me a government job.
Right.
Forget like my first government job, I was making like 42,000 a year. I
Nice.
was like 20, 22, something like
Mm-hmm.
that, 23, had one kid. Man, like I don't have nothing to show for that. Like
Right.
absolutely nothing. I spent my money like crazy. I always tell people I should have been a millionaire by now. If I knew what I knew now, Okay.
Ditto.
Right now, we fast forward 8 years later. I wouldn't even look at a job offering me $42,000.
Right. Exactly.
Offense to anybody who's making out about a body. It's good money, but I'm just saying, um, as you elevate in life, it's the more you know. So
Right.
I've been in business for 8 years, and like you just said, just until recently did I even begin to understand the power of having a strong money mindset,
Yep.
because you cannot sit here and say that you want a six-figure business, $1 million business, but you don't have a strong money mindset. You don't like, you still have limiting beliefs about making money,
Yep.
about how to save money. And me and you, one thing we got in common is our favorite book, uh,
Yes.
which is The Richest Man in Babylon, which from that book, it taught me the power of, saving for yourself,
Absolutely.
the 10% rule,
Yep.
putting 10% aside for yourself. And when it all comes down to, because when I get into it with people and I'm trying to preach this, when I when I talk about it my way, everybody automatically goes, I don't got it. I don't got it. But people don't understand the sacrifice that comes behind money, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just like, you have to, and that's why I love your story so much, because when you were saving up for your home, and it touched me so much to hear you say, I had to, I ate soup some days, I had to give
Yep.
up this, I had to give up that. And it's like, that's how you know you're on your way, when you don't care about the sacrifice you have to make to reach your greatness.
Right.
And so that's what, um, as you talk to people, what is the most common limiting belief about money that people have?
I guess it kind of goes back to what you were just saying. I don't have it. I don't have enough. I don't have enough to save. And it kind of goes back to that old cliche. If you are failing to plan, you are literally planning to fail. People don't have, $10,000 in savings because they just woke up one day and they just had an extra 10 grand. They didn't just wake up and say, oh, I have an extra $1,000 to put aside for them. No, people are literally mapping out plans to save up for that kind, for those, whether it's your down payment on your first home or whatever else you're trying to save up for. It all comes down to having a plan. And I always tell people, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you can keep,
Mhm.
because you can make $100,000 and be in debt and broke, and you can make $40,000 and have a nice nest egg of savings and having a beautiful stock portfolio. It's all about how you are spending and managing your money. So that's the one limiting belief that I hear way too often, that I don't make a lot of money. There's no way I can do that. You can do anything you put your mind to. When we want that new iPhone or new Android or new smartphone, you somehow are finding $1,000 to give to
Right,
this company. Now,
right.
are you handing $1,000 in one shot? No, but you are sure enough doing that payment plan for
Yep.
24 months. So
And you're
why can't
paying
you give?
more.
Right. And
You're
then, well,
paying
sometimes
more.
it's 0%
Right.
APR, but why are you not giving yourself that same dedication? Why can't you say, okay, I'm going to give myself $1,000 in 24 months?
Right.
Right. So if you can find money to give to Apple, Samsung, Amazon, and all other corporations, how can you not find money to pay for yourself? So that's the one thing that I really like to emphasize on my platforms, is you have to get into the habit of paying yourself first. When we get paid, we're running to pay our light bill, our rent, our car note, Apple and Amazon and Target, but you're literally not putting any money aside for yourself. So are you just working to pay bills, or are you working to build wealth one day? So that's really the one thing that really I try to drive home on my platform, is you have to get better at your mindset and really get better at paying yourself first. For some reason, we're overly committed to making Jeff Bezos richer. We're overly committed to giving Apple all our coins, but we're not committed to giving ourselves the right to build wealth. So,
Yes. That was a whole financial word right there. I mean, you're exactly right. One of my aha moments, that I had, I was in the grocery store and I was listening on audio to the book, The Richest Man in Babylon.
yep,
And it was a portion of the book that had said, like, no matter what, we will make sure our bills get paid. We will make sure that what needs to get paid gets paid, but we do not pay ourselves first. And so as you're listening to this podcast, I'm asking you, do you pay yourself first? What can you give up, this year or sacrifice for a few months so that at the end of this year, you actually have something to show for it? If it's a
Yes.
dollar a day, if it's $5 a day, if it's
Yes.
$10 a week, because at the end of the day, what you do now, in the beginning of the year will set what you do at the end of the year. Um, you know,
Absolutely.
during the time of COVID, I was able to save significantly because I don't have to pay daycare, right?
Yep.
Um, spending more money on food,
Right. True. And utilities, because we're all home all day.
right? And so it's like if it wasn't for those things, I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the things. You mentioned stock portfolios. I thank God for my stock portfolio. Like, I'm doing okay.
Ooh,
You know what I
same
mean? I'm
here. I'm
I'm
quite
doing
excited.
And so those are the things that I want us, as women, as Black women, to just really, to keep. I know you are, but I'm just saying, keep preaching your message because it is so crucial, because we never know what can happen in our
Yes.
lives and our business. Like when
Yep.
I was on my knees in 2019, I would have never imagined this in 2020. And my mind,
Exactly.
2020 was gonna go like A, B, and C. If there's
Yep.
one thing this year has taught me, was that there is no price on your health.
Yep.
Your job, you know what I mean? My job don't need me to come into the office. That's one of the
Right.
things. My business doesn't need a flourishing economy to grow. And if
Right.
anything, my business has flourished more in this economy and this, time than
Right.
it has before.
Yep.
So preparing yourselves, getting prepared.
Yes.
How prepared will you be at the end of 2021? Will you
Right.
and say, wow, I have nothing to show for this? All the sales I made, like I don't got no profit. Like you have to have something to show for yourself at the when it's all said and done at the end of the year. And you don't have to start with a lot. You don't have to
Exactly.
commit a lot of money. You just have to commit something. Even if you did $1 a day, that's $365 more than you would have had if you didn't do that. And if you put it into the right
Exactly.
account, that can grow interest and it could begin to grow into something.
Absolutely.
Um, and then one of the things is, how can you manage a large sum of money if you can't manage the little bit of money that you have?
That part. And that's the misconception that people also have. It's like, oh, if I could just get a $10,000, I can get $100,000, I'll be great. I can do this, I can do that. We see lottery winners who win millions and millions and millions of dollars who are broke within 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So again, it doesn't go, it's not again about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep and how you actually spend it. And when it comes to building wealth and any kind of financial success, it's about consistency. So back to what you were saying, if you put $1 a day for the entire year, that is more money than the zero you might have in your bank account right now. So if you can get into that habit of, like I like to tell my audience, try to put aside 1% of your paycheck. 1% is reasonable, right? Because the problem is many of us, it's like, well, how am I going to save $1,000? How am I going to save $5,000? When it seems so far-fetched, then we feel defeated before we even get started. But if you break it down into baby steps and baby goals and you keep that habit consistently, that's when all the magic happens. So if you just say, okay, I'm going to pay myself 1% every single pay period, or every time I make a sale, if I'm a business owner, start there. And then once you start to do that consistently, you'll see your account grow. Then once you see the results, like with anything else, then you're motivated to do it even more. Then you're like, oh, let me do 2%, let me do 5%, right? Like when you're losing weight, you
Yep.
lose those 5 pounds, you're like, man, whatever
Right.
I've been doing, it's
Right.
working, I'm gonna do more of it,
Right.
right? So it all comes down to consistency and really letting go of those old mindsets and those old habits, like I've been mentioning a lot on my platforms lately, is because what you've been doing till now isn't working. right? So if it was working, you wouldn't need a financial strategy coach. You wouldn't need to do my saving challenge. You wouldn't need my courses. So clearly what you've been doing until now isn't working.
Right.
And it all goes down to being open to changing those habits, being open to changing your mindset, and then understanding when you do stumble and make a mistake, it's okay. Because that's the other problem that I see, when we run into that roadblock, then we just feel defeated and then we give up. But that's not how you build wealth in your business or in your personal life. You have to be able to fight through those tough times and keep going and own the mistake, whatever it is. Maybe you dip back into your savings. Maybe you went over budget this month. That doesn't mean the journey is over. You just understand what happened, try to figure out where you went wrong, and then keep going. That's really what it comes down to.
You're absolutely right. Well, okay, I got a question.
Yes.
What is one piece of advice you could provide for us in 2021, so that we can become better with our money, build a savings? What is your one piece of advice that you have for us business owners in 2021?
Get a budget.
Get a budget.
That's like the main thing that I'll be focusing on my platforms, is getting a budget, because it goes back to what we were saying before. If you are failing to plan, you are planning to fail, and you need a budget in your personal life and in your business. How are you going to, invest in yourself if you're not planning to put aside money to invest in yourself? How are you going to improve your packaging? How are you going to scale if you're not planning for this success? And it all comes down to having a budget. You really have to get serious about how you manage your money in your personal life and in your business life. So having a budget is really where it all starts. And without one, you're going to continue to struggle financially. You're going to continue to find it very difficult to make strides in your business and in your personal life in regards to whatever financial goals you're trying to achieve. So the main thing for 2021, we all need a budget.
You hit it right there on the head. You need a budget. Get it together. All right. I'm telling y'all right now, get it together. Because like I said, at the end of the year, have something to show for yourself, show for your
Yes.
business. Like I said, even if you didn't get the sales that you want, you're gonna still have something to show because you still invested into your business. Quit the unnecessary spending. Limit.
Yes.
Look at what you could have cut. With 2020, X out half those programs you got. Stop buying 20 ebooks and
That
taking
you're
all
not
these
using.
classes that you ain't using, and you're just piecing it together, and get a plan. Get a budget. That's key. It doesn't matter. And I'm gonna tell you, I honestly think that you are for not just for people who need the budget, but people who making money. I feel like we need you, because once you start making money, you
Right.
gotta know what to do with that money.
Yes,
Know
that
what
is
to do
very
with it,
true.
or just like you said, it will be gone before you know. You won't have nothing to show for it. So that's why you are so crucial to this game. Like, so,
Aw.
so crucial. Okay, so in 2021, what's coming up for Bella in 2021?
For 2021, I will be offering more programs and also just getting more consistent across my platform. So, right now, I'm offering a financial freedom course. Now, in this program, it's about helping you fix your credit, how to create a budget, right, that you can actually stick to. And ultimately, in this course, my goal is to show you how you can break that cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. So, it'll be offering more programs like this one. I also will be offering more programs about investing. I know in my money mastermind classes and in just what I've been seeing, what my audience really gravitates to is learning more about investing. It's one of those things that many of us want to get into, but we're afraid to do it because we don't know what to do, where to start, and what is best for our budget and our personal financial situation. Because everyone does not have the same needs and goals, and they're not in the same place financially, right? So depending upon where you are, your needs will be different when it comes to investing. So I'll be really offering courses and programs to really help you understand investing, what to look at, what to think about. Are you even ready to invest? Because everyone's not ready to start investing. If you don't have your emergency fund, your short-term emergency fund fully funded, investing is the last thing you should be worried about. So that's really going to be my focus for 2021, just offering more courses, more programs to help my audience, like I said, get their credit together, learn how to budget, and start investing to build wealth. Putting your money in a savings account is great when you're just trying to build your emergency fund. But if you're trying to build wealth for yourself and for your future, whether it's for retirement, to leave a legacy for your children, you really have to invest in things that are going to grow over time and for the long run. You're not here to flip stocks or anything. I mean, you could be, but building wealth is about really long-term investing. So that's really my focus for 2021. And again, going back to the basics, getting more consistent on my YouTube channel, getting more consistent on my podcast. In the last 2 months of 2020, I've kind of neglected those platforms because I was really doing a deep dive into, these courses and things like that. So that's what I have planned for 2021, and more collaborating. I love doing, like coming here on your podcast and doing other collaboration with other amazing bosses out here. That's really my focus. I love just us getting together to just have a bigger purpose and really serve our audience. So that's my main focus for 2021.
Good. If you can work with anybody in 2021, who would it be? Who's your eyes set on?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know. That is definitely that's really a tough one. If I could work with anyone in 2021 as far as doing a collaboration, maybe like Susie Orman and Oprah. I mean, I know these are like really out of my realm, but
superstars, because you absolutely never know.
I would say if I could get on and Judge Judy, those are like the three people. If I could get on their radar, I would, whether it's to learn from them, right, or to share a platform, I think that would be amazing.
Hey, you never know. You absolutely never know what the year can hold. And if you go and meet Oprah, I hope you get a +1 because
we can both
manifest this in a way. If you could just mention my name, I don't even gotta come. Just mention my name. Especially
got you.
If you meet Oprah. All right. Well, before we wrap this up, how can everyone find you? I know how to find you, but how can everybody else find you?
Let's see. Instagram, Bella's Credit Corner. Just type it in. I'll pop right up. On YouTube, same thing, Bella's Credit Corner. I'm also on Facebook. I'm on TikTok, not very active on TikTok, but I am on there. And of course, I have my podcast. I also have my own website, bellascreditcorner.com. And so if you do just Google me, I'll pop up. And I really use all these different platforms just to really expand my reach, because there's so many ways people are accessing information. So I want to make sure that I'm everywhere at this point. Absolutely. So that's where you can find me. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. TikTok, right.
Bella's Credit Corner. She's going to pop up. I promise. I promise. This is who you want to be connected with in 2021. So you need to write her name down and put I need to connect with. Okay.
Even there you go.
You need to follow her on every platform, because I promise you're going to get information that is going to help elevate you and push you and make you have the best 2021 that you can possibly have, not only in your business, but also in your personal life, because you got to have your finances straight. You got to get that money straight. All right. Yes. Money matters. And that's what this series is about. It's just getting your money together. So Bella, I want to say thank you so much for joining me again inside the Boss's Lounge. You are always welcomed here anytime.
Thank you so much, Shannon, for having me. I really, really appreciate it. I love what you're doing for our culture and for us business owners. I'm subscribed to your podcast, so I'm definitely always tuned in. So I'm excited about this second season and see what you have cooking, because I know you are definitely working on big things.
Oh, you know it. You know it. You know it. So thank you so much.